What makes something Christmas media? This is a question I've asked myself for a long time, for as long as I can remember. What determines it? Is it something that just takes place during Christmas? Is it theming? Or is it something else? That's what I'm here to do today. I want to determine what defines something as Christmas media and list media that should and shouldn't be on that list. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and tell your friends. Trying to get this to as many people as I can. With that out of the way, let's start the discussion of what makes something Christmas media. Let's begin with what started this whole thought process. It's a Wonderful Life. If you haven't seen it, it's a 1946 movie directed by Frank Capra about a man named George Bailey. He lives in a small town called Bedford Falls. For his entire life, he wanted to explore and see the world, but as we see throughout the movie, many different circumstances prevent him from doing so. One thing leads into another, and George thinks he'd be better off if he was never born at all. An angel descends and grants George that wish, allowing him to see what life would be like without him in it. This eventually changes his perception on life and allows him to appreciate what he has. It's a great movie that I've watched every Christmas for a long time. My mom's significant other would watch it every Christmas, so we adopted that tradition. Where the thought of what makes this Christmas media came into play was when I was talking with my stepsister. I told her that I thought this movie wasn't a Christmas movie, and she disagreed. Why did I think it wasn't a Christmas movie, you ask? Well, the only part that occurs during Christmas is at the very end of the movie. Throughout the entire movie, we follow George Bailey throughout his life filled with good times and plenty of bad, where he can't do the things that he wants to do. Only at the end comes a Christmas setting. Now, do we think Christmas media is only when the setting is Christmas? That's what I thought others thought. Because of this movie, I thought to myself, maybe Christmas movies deal with more than just Christmas settings. If you think about this movie in particular, this movie is about appreciating what you have through both the ups and the downs. I'd say that's a core Christmas value. Sure, you get gifts and whatnot, but it's one of the only times of the year that you get to spend time with family and even extended family that you don't see very often. Appreciating those times are precious, and I think that's a core value of Christmas. Joy and happiness comes from the ending of the movie. After all the turmoil, George's kindness throughout the movie, him stopping what he wants to do to help others, his kindness gets repaid in full, and everyone is joyful and happy. Another value of Christmas. If we take all these into consideration, you could say that It's a Wonderful Life is a Christmas movie. But if you're one of those people who thinks if Christmas is in the setting, then it can be seen as well. I believe it's not, because Christmas isn't prominently shown, nor is the movie really about Christmas. It's about appreciating what life has to offer through the ups and the downs. It just so happens to also apply to Christmas themes. I don't know, I go back and forth on this one, but I lean more towards it not being a Christmas movie. That being said, it's probably not right to make a judgment on all Christmas media off of just It's a Wonderful Life. So let's go over some examples, and then I'll give my 2 cents on why I think it's a Christmas movie or not. By the end, we'll figure out a definitive definition of what makes Christmas media Christmas media. You guys can also make your own judgments as well. Let's start with the first one, Hawkeye. Unsure if you guys have seen this one, but that show is considered Christmas media by the producers. Sure, it takes place during Christmas, and Hawkeye has to get home before Christmas, but is stopped by the new girl who's also skilled with a bow. This show isn't about Christmas at all. It's about Hawkeye training this new girl in the ways of the bow, while also dealing with criminals. I do think there's a lot of Christmas stuff in the show, and there are themes of Christmas, so I'm actually inclined to say yes, this is a Christmas work. There's a bond of family in the show, both with Hawkeye desperately trying to get home for Christmas, and him connecting with this new young girl. There's also a lot of Christmas imagery around as well, so I could definitely see it as Christmas media. Let's go with a few anime now, since I am an anime channel after all. Toradora. For those of you that don't know, Toradora is about a kid named Ryuji. He has a scary looking face, but isn't a scary individual. There's also another character named Taiga, who's very small and cute looking, but is very violent and harsh. Hence the name most people give her, the Palm Top Tiger. The main story is how the two of them work together to get their friends to like them. Ryuji likes Minori, and Taiga likes Kitamura. Ryuji is friends with Kitamura, and Taiga's friends with Minori. Therein lies what spurs the show together. Ryuji helps Taiga, and Taiga helps Ryuji. Eventually, a romance blossoms between Ryuji and Taiga. That's the show in a nutshell. But back to Christmas. Now, there's an entire arc of Toradora that takes place during Christmas. There's even an original song, which is a banger by the way, that they sing during the Christmas event in Toradora. Does this make the entire show Christmas media? The subreddit r/anime watches Toradora during Christmas. It has Christmas in the show. It has to be Christmas media, right? I don't think so. Is the entire show Christmas media? Absolutely not, in my opinion. But that one part is, definitely. It takes place during Christmas, and it very prominently displays Christmas imagery and themes. So I'll give it that one part is Christmas media, but nothing else. Here's another one, Initial D Third Stage. The third season of Initial D, a racing anime about a kid named Takumi who gets more and more interested in racing. This third season deals with Takumi figuring out what he wants to do with his life after high school, and what to do in his racing career if he wants to accept an offer from Ryosuke, a former enemy, to join a racing group he wants to form called Project D. Where the Christmas comes into play is later in the movie. Christmas comes around and everyone is sad that they're alone. Well, mostly the friend group of Takumi. Takumi gets a surprise visit from Mogi, the girl that Takumi is thinking about dating. It's complicated. And they celebrate Christmas together when his family really never did. It's nice, but it doesn't make the entire movie Christmas media. After that part, there's a race so Takumi can save Mogi from a creepy ex-boyfriend, and they race in the snow. But besides that, no other Christmassy things. Not Christmas media in my opinion. Let me hit you with another one as well. The disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. This one can be debated back and forth, but if you guys haven't watched that movie, this one is a continuation of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, a show that came out in 2006 about a girl whose boredom actually changes the world around her. Very popular show at that time, and even popular now, but enough about that. The movie takes place just a bit after the end of the series. It's around Christmas time, and the club Kion, our main character is in, is planning to throw a Christmas party. All of the other members, Haruhi, Nagato, Koizumi, and Mikuru, get things ready for the party. But the next day, things are different. Things are normal. Nothing is out of the ordinary. All of the characters are acting way more different than usual, and Kion is the only one that's the same. He then realizes that he got transported to a time where things are normal and Haruhi is seemingly missing. With Kion stuck in this reality, he has to choose whether or not here is better than back where he was. It's a great movie that I'll probably talk about some other time, but this movie also has nothing to do with Christmas, but it has Christmas in it. Is it a Christmas movie? Well, yes and no. This movie has themes that would fit under the Christmas umbrella, and even has similar themes to It's a Wonderful Life. Since Kion is transferred to this alternate world, he has to decide if the craziness of the world that he's from is just too crazy for him and just stay in this alternate world, or leave the alternate world and return back to his crazy world. You know the saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone? That applies to both this movie and It's a Wonderful Life. Kion always complained about the crazy antics of Haruhi, but when it's all gone, he really reconsiders his complaining and fights to reclaim what was lost. In this sense, you can consider it a Christmas movie, because it shares the same themes of appreciating what you have, just like It's a Wonderful Life. But just like It's a Wonderful Life, I struggle to put it as a Christmas movie. Christmas isn't prominently shown, but it is shown, and there are themes of Christmas, but it's just something I don't think is a Christmas work. Now back to the Western media, and probably the most controversial one, Die Hard. There have been debates for as long as I can remember on if this is a Christmas movie or not. After watching it specifically for this video, I can safely say I don't see this as a Christmas movie. Now, Die Hard is about a guy who gets invited to a Christmas party away from his home state of New York to California to meet up with his wife who accepted a job there. The party ends up getting raided and he ends up escaping and trying to save everyone. That's basically the movie. There are a lot of Christmas things in this movie, like the music, the fact it takes place on Christmas Eve, some of the holiday things like the Christmas party, a dead body with a Santa hat on him, etc. Besides those things, there's no Christmas theming. It just happens to take place on Christmas. The people who believe this movie is a Christmas movie probably also have the same definition as many others. If this movie primarily takes place during Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. I personally think that it isn't because the focus isn't on Christmas stuff. I think if the movie focuses on the Christmas aspect, then it's a Christmas movie. I could also accept themes of Christmas in tandem with the Christmas setting as well. After going through all of these examples, if I had to clearly define what my definition of a Christmas movie is, I now think that Christmas media is both media that has Christmas as a prominent setting throughout the film or TV show, and has themes of Christmas. I believe if the Christmas media just has Christmas in it, it doesn't make it Christmas media. Now, if the whole film takes place during Christmas and has a lot of Christmas related things in it, like themes or imagery, then I believe it's Christmas media. Now, there is clear Christmas media: Home Alone, A Christmas Story, Jingle All the Way, but there's a lot of Christmas media that can be argued against, like It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, The Disappearance Movie, etc. At the time, I thought Christmas media was just whether or not it heavily featured Christmas or not. But thinking about it now, I think that if it has Christmas shown prominently in it and has themes that can be attributed with Christmas, then it's Christmas media. By that logic, It's a Wonderful Life and the Horror He movie could both be considered Christmas media. But Christmas media can be different from person to person. Some people just think that if it has Christmas in it, it's a Christmas film, while others, like myself, need a little bit more than just having Christmas in it. I don't know. This is just something I've been thinking about for a while. But anyway, do you agree with what I think Christmas media should be? Do you think It's a Wonderful Life is a definitive Christmas movie? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is, and why. I love Christmas, and I'm always on the lookout for new Christmas things to consume. If you liked today's video, please subscribe, turn on the bell, and tell your friends, so we can get this to a wider audience. See you next time, and don't forget, join the Hive Mind.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.